Okay, YouTube, so I really wrote this one out because there's a few things I wanted to cover. I was listening to my podcast while I weld, like I always do. I weld a lot. I'm in welding school. And Alison Rapp's firing came up on the Giant Beastcast and the Giant Bombcast, both of which I really do like normally. There are a few subjects where I have problems with, but overall they're pretty good. Okay. So, the Giant Bombcast handled it terribly, and I'm not even going to talk about it. Like, wow. They painted this in a really just completely spun out, wrong, incorrect way that really upset me. And I just kind of disregarded it because I was like, you know what? I don't even know the specifics of this story. It sounds familiar, but I don't even want to get into it. But you guys really, definitely, I know there's more to it that you're not talking about. You can just tell by how they disregarded some things, got very personal about it. And then on the Giant Beastcast, Austin Walker went into it more. And I was really interested. I really like Austin Walker. So the claims by the Giant Beastcast for this, the sides of this, was, I'm going to really simplify it. They talked about it a bunch more. Check it out. Free podcast on giantbomb.com. That it was a bunch of people digging up a publicly available journal written for like a college in, I think, 2012, in which he talked about the laws regarding sexual depiction of minors in Japan and how internationally people should lay off on them, essentially. I mean, there's more to it than that. Check it out. They also talked about the tweets that people pointed to without mentioning that they alluded to her having an underage girlfriend, and yeah, stuff like that. That's kind of a problem. Also, like, I just want to note, like, I'm totally cool with polyamory. I'm totally cool with all that kind of stuff. I've been in more than one poly relationship, actually. My partners in the past have been cam girls and models and stuff, and that'll come into play later. And I'm all about sex positivity. My current partner is actually asexual, like nothing. So I'm all about people living their lives in totally different ways and have no problem with that. However, that doesn't seem to be what this is about. The biggest deal that the Giant Beastcast made was all about harassment, as it always seems to be with these things. I checked what Alison posted, and it's like 1/5 harassment, and by that I just mean people saying really shitty things, and mostly people like pointing out like, hey, she's got some really terrible views, you should fire her. And, you know, okay, whatever, I kind of agree with that. I'm not really into letter writing campaigns, and I don't support anybody just like, if somebody hasn't done something against the law and they just have a view that you disagree with and you want to get them fired, I disagree with that. I think that that's a bad thing to do. I don't think that that's the right way to go about it. I just never do. The thing she was arguing for she doesn't do anything illegal by the standards of the place that she's in. I'm not going to try to get her fired. I'm not going to have like this big moral ethical discussion about it. I don't think it makes any sense. All right. So too much crying wolf going on with the harassment thing. And I don't buy it. So Nintendo maintains that it was because she was moonlighting that she was fired, not because of pressure from anyone. So, and that it was that the moonlighting was against company policy. She retorted that moonlighting was completely acceptable while working for Nintendo. And the media narrative that I've been hearing everywhere is that Nintendo was completely in the wrong for doing this and not standing by her against harassment. But I didn't really see any dangerous harassment. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. But the thing is, like, the media doesn't know what that job was. They don't even talk about that. They don't mention, like, well, was the specific job against company policy? So I decided to do a bit of digging and found a tweet from her showing off some relatively risque photos of a shoot she did. A heavily implied, like, softcore pornography kind of thing. And these were on the account that she used for PR. Now, I don't know if these were before or after she was hired. But for real, come on. Then I also came across a Twitter photo set of her wearing a sheer blue dress covering her nipples. Like, just like this. And like this. Like, that's all she was wearing. And, like, you could see them if she wasn't covering them. And then she said, I quote, if you wanted to dress me up in cute outfits or spoil me with other fun consumer goods. Here's my thing. And then she linked her Amazon wish list. And people got upset about this, that she linked an Amazon wish list. And like, I'm like, yeah, I get why they got upset. Because, okay, so I don't know if, like I said earlier, I've been with people who camgirled. They generally put their Amazon wish list somewhere. Like, that is just a normal thing. So instead of you giving them money directly, you can buy them things so that they can dress up for you. So it was very heavily implied that that's what this was, okay? I don't know if this was before or after she was hired by Nintendo, but it is the same account that she uses for PR, and I don't know why they didn't have her make a different account or something like that. And also, if it was dug up, then kind of like, you know, shame on you guys for digging it up and spotlighting it. But also, can you blame Nintendo if she was moonlighting as a cam girl or if she's moonlighting as a nude model for firing her? Do you really think you should blame her? Like, or you should blame them? Because, like, and again, like, I don't have anything against those things at all. To the contrary, I really don't. But really, like, of course they're going to fire her if that was what she was doing as a job. Of course they are. Yeah, so the other thing I wanted to mention is her demeanor on Twitter. And I think that this is the other reason that Nintendo fired her, but they didn't mention. It's not because she's an outspoken feminist. If you're outspoken about women's rights, and even like if you're going to go with like the rape culture thing, okay, like I don't agree with the rape culture thing from what I've studied about it, but hey, whatever, like then, you know, then do that. I mean, you could say those things, okay? But she's sarcastic. She was snide as hell. And she had a completely unprofessional and very rude behavior. Like, if an HR person looked at her Twitter, if you look at her Twitter, all right, just look at it. Dig through it a little bit and just look at her tweets. You don't, like, have to dig very far back. And if you look at her replies back and forth between people and the kind of stuff that she jokes about and the ways that she jokes, it's really unprofessional. It's amazingly unprofessional. I can't believe that she didn't get fired from Nintendo before this. I was amazed that she was working there because I was aware of this Twitter a while ago, but I don't care about this stuff that much. And so I want to say here, like, this is her side of it. About a month after starting, I was asked to not tweet about rape culture because it could become a big story. I was consistently made to worry that getting another tattoo or piercing would mean they'd pull me from the public appearances. When I got back from vacation, Nintendo stripped me of my spokesperson status and did a lateral move so I wouldn't lead games as a product manager anymore. Yeah. Yes. Of course. It's all about their public image. So she's saying right here, hey, listen, could you not be so controversial? And also, like, you know, if you get a piercing or something, yeah, we might not use you for public appearances. Because that is not what Nintendo is trying to sell their image as. You are working in a position where you are the image for Nintendo. So if you're doing public appearances, what you look like, what you talk about, represents that company. That company does not need to stand by you if you do things and say things that they really don't want to get involved in. You're pulling the company with you. Your reputation reflects on the company's reputation. So if she's talking about this stuff right here, she's already said exactly all the things that Nintendo needs to go like, listen, you're working partially a service job. You're trying to make customers happy. You're trying to sell things, marketing to customers. You're working in a marketing job. I'm sorry. You're trying to sell things to customers. It's all about image. So yeah, we can fire you if you show an image that we really don't like. And then she said, this was because the Gamergate mess meant that they looked at my tweets and decided I wasn't a good representative of the company. And I think it's pretty clear that Nintendo is speaking more to your overall demeanor, not because you're an outspoken feminist on Twitter. Yeah, it doesn't take a consultant to see that. So, but no, it's about sex positivity. Do you think that if the industry wasn't afraid of women, sex positivity, etc., that Anne and Moonlighting I did would have been a problem? Again, implying that this had something to do with her doing some sort of sexual natured moonlighting. And again, like, I'm not against this, but you're doing marketing for Nintendo, okay? You're a project manager, okay? So that means that what you do reflects on them. I cannot stress that enough. It's not the industry. It's all of culture. It's kind of not cool with people doing sexual stuff when they're trying to sell games from a company that they perceive a certain way, and you are perceived completely opposite to that, okay? Like, could you imagine if she... Oh, it would have been way more ironic and messed up. If she was doing, like, the project lead for, like, something like Splatoon, okay? Just think about that for a second. Anyway. So, yeah, this is so obvious what happened, and the media is just completely twisting this in circles, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's such an obvious reason why she would have get canned. Like, anyone who acts like that would have gotten canned. And I feel like if she wasn't talking about all the feminist stuff and making that a big deal, like, it's obvious why you got fired. Because you're not a good spokesperson for the company you're working for. Done. Okay? Done. So, okay, everybody. I'm going to calm down now. So, everybody, you guys be good to one another. Be excellent. Party hard and take it easy.